Your sickness is all in your head. Sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? But I'm sure if you're anything like me, I've told myself that. One thing that I want to say is there is no distinction between your literal body, that is this literal head on my literal shoulders, and my metaphorical body. That is when I close my eyes and I imagine my body, I have an imaginary head on my imaginary shoulders. Okay, so if I bang my head and there's a wound there, I've got a literal wound, and then I've got my thoughts, feelings, how other people are going to perceive me, how I envisage that in my imagination as well. So it's similar, and they're mutual, right? It happened at the same time. So let's have a look at two people. So first of all, we have Samuel Hahnemann, the founding father of homeopathy. He says that disease originates in what he termed the vital life force. Now, nobody knows really what the vital life force is, and it's a bit of a mystery. We also have another bloke, Carl Jung. So he's a psychoanalyst, and he talked about a shared collective consciousness, which again is something that we can't see. We learn shared signs and symbols. So we learn that the word cat means that animal with 4 legs that goes meow. And we know that we have a literal cat, don't we? Yeah, cat that you might see walking in the street, very fluffy to touch. That's the literal cat. We've also got the metaphorical cat. So in English, C-A-T. So when I close my eyes and somebody says, oh, I got a cat the other day, we all share what we know as what that word means. Be able to have that sign and symbol of the cat if we didn't know what the literal cat was. So the two are connected. And this is the same as disease. So it's my proposal that we can put the two together. Where does disease originate? And I would say to Mr. Hahnemann, by vital life force, in light of what Carl Jung has said, do you think it's our shared collective consciousness? Is this where disease originates? In the signs and symbols? Now stick with me, because how do you know you're unwell? How do you know you've got an infection? Because you start developing symptoms. And what are symptoms? Symptoms are our body's way of communicating the illness. So we would get a fever. Is the fever the problem? No, the fever is not the problem. The fever is the symptom, and it's actually also the solution. Okay, isn't that clever? So your literal body having an infection, and then your metaphorical body wants to communicate that in a way that you can understand, so that somebody can touch your head and go, oh yes, this person has got an infection. They've got a fever. Yeah? So you're sick both in your body and your head at the same time. Let's go back to homeopathy. So it is a metaphorical medicine because, well, firstly, we use the like cures like principle. So it might not be a metaphor, but it's in English literature, kind of under the same bracket. It's a simile, isn't it? It feels like I've ingested arsenic. So what should you do? Ingest arsenic. But are you ingesting arsenic when you take homeopathy? No, you are taking a version of that arsenic. And one could say you are taking a symbol, a sign of arsenic, because there's no literal molecular structure there, is there? Metaphorical medicine. But what do you think? Have you ever made this connection before? Or have you ever heard anybody else talk about this before? Or what do you think about homeopathy? What do you think about metaphors? What do you think about literal disease or metaphorical disease? What do you reckon? Anyway, don't leave me hanging, man. Get in touch.